welcome everybody. It's Rose Smith here from AbsoluteSoulSecrets.com. Thank you so much for joining me for the Passionate Pisces September horoscope. It's quite an interesting month this month. We've got a fair bit on. So everybody's got a thing called the finger of God, or a yod if you like. And this is a very spiritual, creative force. For you, it's turning up very strongly. The focal point is in your everyday work, health, well-being and habits area of your chart. We also have Mercury going retrograde from the 10th until the 3rd of October. So that's fairly full on for you too, because it's in your relationship zone. Your co-ruler Neptune is affected by both the finger of God and also a T-square at the beginning of the month. The thing with T-squares is they can be challenging, but often there's some sort of dynamic reward that comes out of a T-square. That challenge brings out the best in us, basically. Uranus is turning retrograde and it's in your 3rd house of communications. But the thing about Uranus, it's one of those transpersonal planets out the back of the solar system there. And it's quite normal for it to go retrograde for, a good part of the year. And because it is a transpersonal planet, we don't tend to sort of feel it as much. It's like it's hidden underneath in our subconscious somewhere. If you are psychic or particularly sensitive, you might pick it up in your dreams or the small flashes that you have every day. It's in your communications zone, publishing, also distant relatives or cousins or people you've lost contact with, and also study as well. Okay, so just to briefly explain, I like to draw 2 tarot cards as theme cards for the month for you, and then we'll have a look at your horoscope. If you're new, subscribe and be alive and hit that notification bell right now. Thank you very much. Let's go to the board. Okay, look at all the activity. But first we're going to draw these 2 cards and see what's afoot for you. So the first card, the first half of the month. Okay, I see a tree and it's like it's splitting down the middle, which is very unusual. It's like it's been struck by lightning. That is Uranus. Lightning is Uranus. And so there could be something to do with your family where there's a disagreement or some sort of unpredictable thing happens. Maybe it's volatile. But, like I said, often there's some good that comes out of it. See, Uranus is part of this red T-square here. So Saturn, Uranus and Venus. And you might be finding it a bit tense or stressful, weighing up what's going on in your subconscious. Here there's some sort of restriction with Saturn in Aquarius. Uranus in Taurus here in your 3rd house, so maybe your relatives or your family tree or someone in your local community, and Venus here in your everyday life. So you've got to balance all of these elements together. But Venus does move pretty quickly, so it's only a few days and then it moves into your 7th house, and then the T-square doesn't exist anymore. But let's have a look now and see what comes up. The card is the 6 of Pentacles. This is all about your money. There is a bit happening there with money. You decide who you're going to pay and how you're going to pay them, what method do you use, or the terms and conditions around payments. You have to weigh up how you deal with your finances. People could be asking you for money, particularly family as well. It's up to you whether, you give them money or not. Okay, so that's the first card. Your finances are a focus for you in the first half of the month. The second card of the month, there's a door here. I actually get the word lock. Locks on the doors, so maybe this is about boundaries. It could be about personal security as well, but my initial sort of vibe is that it's more symbolic than actual, and so this is about setting appropriate boundaries for yourself. Not working too much when you don't want to work. If being very very assertive about your desires. and your needs in life and stuff like that. All right, so what card comes up? Let's go with that one there. And it's the Magician. This is a fabulous card, actually. It doesn't come up that often. I don't know why. But this is about you manifesting on the earthly plane. It's literally about bringing things from the ether down to the world and deciding what you want and going for it. So by all means, be assertive and go for it. Look at all these red roses around the outside. So could be to do with relationships, perhaps, you know, because red roses are often associated with love. We've got the infinity sign here, which is all about spirit. Yeah, she's wearing red, so there's a fair bit of action involved here. On this blue background is about self-expression as well. So yeah, it is a fabulous card, and you can make things real in your life, whatever your heart's desires actually are. It's a major arcana, so it is fairly significant. Okay, so let's just make this a bit bigger and you'll be able to see better. All right, so we'll put this one down first here and then that one there, because often they come up in the reading in some fashion. All right, the finger of God, we've got two quincunxes here, or they're also known as inconjuncts, and a sextile joining them together, and they're pointed towards Venus. So this is the energy of Saturn and Uranus blending together, coming to the focal point of Venus here. So it's your everyday habits, your everyday work, your health, your well-being, and there's a lot of spiritual energy being poured into these areas of your life. So it's quite likely there'll be some kind of transformation. I already talked about the T-squared here between Saturn, Uranus and Venus. As I said, Venus moves very quickly. It'll only be here for the first few days of the month. Mercury retrograde. I'll talk more about that as we go along. And I've talked about Uranus here in your third house of communications and study. Alrighty, so from the 1st to the 4th of the month, Mercury opposition Jupiter. Sometimes this makes you a little bit, this can make people feel a bit mentally restless. It's hard to concentrate, and self-discipline might be a bit low at the moment under this. And sometimes people do like to play or take some risks under this influence, maybe gambling or something like that. But it is a good time to read a book or take a trip or plan a trip while this is happening. 1st to the 5th, Mercury trines Mars. This is fabulous for asserting your own needs and desires. I've talked about that as well before. And to communicate what you really want, because you're more likely to be sharp, decisive and articulate now. You've got a lot of energy perhaps, and you're ready to take on some challenging mental tasks or fix some sort of problem, especially especially around your work. Then we have the 3rd to the 28th, Venus in your 7th house here. So it's moving from here into your 7th house. This is absolutely lovely for committed relationships. It's also a good time to meet new people, potential friends or romantic partners. You could be feeling especially open-hearted and, you know, open to other people at the moment. And maybe you're quite friendly as well, and perhaps you want companionship. It's not really the time to be on your own at this point during this time. If you are married, or you know you have a significant partner, then you might find that any attention that you give to them is well rewarded, because your relationship will be much smoother and happier. The 4th to the 8th, Mars squares Sun. Do watch for this, because it does bring irritability. Mars and the Sun together, both very fiery. So it could be some sort of level of frustration or impatience. So yeah, take a deep breath and think about things before you act. Do think before you act. Watch for accidents and incidents, okay? So go slowly, don't rush into things. 30th to the 16th, Jupiter opposition Mercury, and Mercury's retrograde after the 10th. So the beginning of this is fabulous for optimism, maybe feel more philosophical than usual, and it's like you're looking at your life from a broader perspective. And you could also come into contact with other people that you learn a great deal of, so it's very favourable. It's also a great time for travelling, attending seminars or business functions as well. And it's a fabulous time for public speaking and advertising. But after the 10th, it's not so good, and so do be careful of business, signing business contracts and things like that, because sometimes things get mucked up with Mercury retrograde in contracts. 8th to the 12th, Mars opposition your MC. This is a time you should probably have some quiet time, because it's like the energy of Mars in opposition is quite a challenge here. It could feel a bit stressful, especially around the home and family as well. Try and find some ways to look after your health physically. Maybe working in the yard, take the energy off, the Mars energy, take it off by playing some sports to minimise your irritability or frustration. 13th to the 16th of September, Mercury retrograde trines Mars. Okay, so this is an improvement. There can still be misunderstandings though, and delays, but perhaps you're looking at a specific problem at work and you're trying to work out a way to fix it. Eventually you'll probably get there, or you'll have some sort of flash or brilliant idea that might help you. 15th to the 18th, Sun opposition Neptune. Watch this, because Neptune is associated with viruses, so you really want to take care of your health, and not probably mixing with large groups of people isn't a good idea at the moment. And your immune system or your natural defences might be a bit lower than normal. And there's some sort of confusion or vagueness as well, so be cautious about making commitments. Later you'll see things more realistically. You know how, like, if you make a decision and you say, oh, why on earth did I do that? I've done that myself. This one might be one of those times. The 10th of the month sees a full moon in your sign here, and this is all about your identity and how you approach the world. So there's a bit of a shake-up here with the full moon, but you could be feeling more spiritual, perceptive or sensitive, and you might be thinking about updating your look, your identity, maybe your wardrobe or your makeup or hair, so you can better reflect to the world who you really are. Okay. Then we have Mars sextiling Chiron from the 16th to the 21st, bringing vitality, spirit and inspiration into your life, along with a certain amount of positivity and optimism. You're likely to have brilliant ideas that are quite innovative. You think of solutions to problems that you couldn't think of before. It's easier for you to work around obstacles or challenges at this time. And you could also become interested in healing, whether that be emotional, spiritual or physical. 21st to the 23rd, the Sun moves into your 8th house here, so this is a time when joint financial affairs and investments might come to the fore. It's a great time to take care of legal business, insurance, wills and the like. And on the personal level, it might be that intimacy becomes more of a focus, and you want more honesty in your closest relationships. It's almost like one of you wants a deeper union, and that is possible now. 23rd to the 10th of October, Mercury retrograde in your 7th house. Watch for misunderstandings. Anything important, of course, always put it in writing, because, sometimes things are ambiguous and we can misinterpret what other people are trying to say, and that is possible with Mercury retrograde. Talking with your partner, to try and sort out any possible misunderstandings is always a good idea. you may be able to come to some agreement or some resolution of a problem you've been having for a while, because you're more fair-minded and detached than usual. The 25th sees a new moon in Libra here, which is your 8th house, bringing, again, jointly held assets, property, superannuation, loans, or anything you share with anybody or any company, brings that to the fore. Your emotions could be quite intense now. Just watch you don't overreact to some encounter. 25th to the 28th, Mercury trines Pluto, but it is retrograde again. So do watch, especially here with communications, because people are likely just to come out and tell you all manner of personal or intimate details about their lives. Some of these would be quite personal and they're not meant to be shared. So just watch out you don't get any foot in mouth happening, because you don't want those secrets coming out of your mouth. Yeah. Or it could be that you even hear secrets. You might not be the one that's telling the secrets. Other people might be telling you about secrets. Yeah. It's also a great time to look for something that's been lost or hidden. You might find something that you'd sort of forgotten about that had been lost at some point. Then we've got the 27th of September to the 22nd of October. Venus moves into your 8th house as well. So there's a lot of energy pouring in here regarding shared resources and intimacy. So it's like you could really revamp your life in these areas. You might also meet a benefactor through friends or somebody who can help you. Particularly if you're looking for financial backing or emotional support, and intimate relationships are likely to intensify now. 28th of the month to the 5th of October, Mercury opposition. Now that's Mercury retrograde opposition, your ruler Neptune. Oh, you've got to be careful here with contracts, because Neptune can be hazy and a bit vague or perhaps confused. Even, deception or delusion goes with Neptune as well. So, yeah, if you do have to sign a contract, make sure you get another pair of eyes to look over it. Maybe somebody in the legal profession might be the best way to go. There could be some misunderstandings or even outright deception here, so just be extra careful if you're signing anything. 29th to the 5th of October, Mars trines Saturn. This is fabulous for your concentration and your work, because it's like you become more serious about work and you can avoid distractions, and you can easily or more easily tackle difficult, disagreeable tasks, and you can do painstaking work now. And it's all because your self-control and self-discipline are stronger than usual. So you're likely to get very positive results out of this in the long term. Not straight away, it's not a get-rich-quick scheme or anything like that. But, you do the work. Saturn loves that if you go step by step and do the work, and you'll get the results in the long term. The 12th of September to the 1st of December, Saturn squares Uranus. Aren't we so sick of this? This has been going on for a few years now. We've had 3 or 4 hits already, so maybe you're used to it. I don't know if you could ever get used to this one, because it is frustration or frustrating when Saturn throws a wet blanket over your brilliant ideas. You could feel a bit limited or restricted in some way. Conservative people, old-fashioned people, old-fashioned beliefs. If you come across people like that, you want to give them a broad berth, so to speak. It's not the time to be reckless now, because Uranus will be pushing you to be a bit reckless and impulsive, but Saturn doesn't like it, so just be cautious. You could get caught. It's not really the time to drink and drive. Not that there's any time for that, but particularly now, because you'll probably get caught if you do that. Don't even know why I'm saying drink and drive. It's not the thing I ever talk about. But yeah, it's definitely not a good idea. So you need a designated driver. But if you can practice patience and be determined, your wise actions now will build a stable foundation for you for the future, okay? Massage, stretching and exercise can help, and make sure you look after your physical health now. And then finally this one, Saturn squares the moons, not easy either, from the 26th of September to the 17th of November. There's some sort of major thing happening around your home. Your sense of personal security, could be undergoing some sort of critical change. Maybe next door, maybe you live in a block of flats or something. You live in a house and there's a block of flats next door being built or something like that. There could be an issue with a family member that requires special attention. Make sure that you look after your possessions as well, that you don't misplace things. So it's something happening in your neighbourhood. And added to that, Uranus there in your third house and your north node as well. Yeah, it's just when you put it all together, and it means that there is some sort of change around the area where you live at least. Maybe you decide, or you're thinking you're not happy with the new car park next door, you might move. There's, it doesn't specifically say what it is, but yeah, something goes wrong there. It is a great time to give up an old habit, though, so it's not totally negative, because you can get rid of addictions now, which could help you. So overeating, smoking, poor health habits, etc. This is a time when you may make a major change to upgrade your life, okay? The issue is maintaining those new habits, okay? You'll probably have to put some effort into that. But yeah, some weak links are now exposed, and you have to decide whether you're going to stay with the current thing and try and fix it, or you're going to upgrade your life, basically. All right, passionate Pisces, so that's it. That's your horoscope for September. I do hope it's helpful for you. Leave a like or a comment, and share on your socials if you could. That would be fabulous. Yeah, just share the link on your socials. You can put it on whatever platform. Okay, thanks again. If you're new, subscribe and be alive, and hit that notification bell right now. Have a wonderful month, everyone, and I'll see you all again soon. Thanks for watching. Bye for now. Thanks so much for watching. Please visit my website absolutesoulsecrets.com for all things spiritual. Have a lovely day.